And every new NBA season offers a chance to get to know some of the new potential superstars like 20-year-old Dirk Nowitzki. Who, you ask? Well, the Dallas Mavericks thought highly enough of Nowitzki to engineer a draft day trade with the Bucks after they'd selected him with the 9th overall pick.
Picture this: a 7-foot German guy who can't jump, isn't fast, and looks more like your accountant than an NBA superstar.
With the 9th pick in the 1998 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Dirk Nowitzki.
Now imagine that same guy destroying the league for 2 decades. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what Dirk Nowitzki did. This is the story of how the NBA's most unathletic player became an unstoppable force, changing the game forever. When Dirk Nowitzki first stepped onto an NBA court in 1998, the league was a different beast. It was the era of high-flying dunks, lightning-fast breaks, and physical play in the paint. Shaquille O'Neal was demolishing backboards, Allen Iverson was crossing up defenders, and Michael Jordan had just finished his second three-peat. In this world of athletic marvels, Dirk stuck out like a sore thumb. Let's get one thing straight. Dirk wasn't your typical NBA athlete. He couldn't jump out of the gym. He wasn't the fastest guy on the court. Heck, he probably wouldn't win a foot race against most of the coaches. But what Dirk lacked in raw athleticism, he made up for with his unique set of skills. First up, that jump shot. Oh boy, that jump shot. Imagine a shot so high, so smooth, it was like watching a 7-foot sniper pick off defenders one by one. Dirk's signature one-legged fadeaway became the stuff of legends. Picture this: Dirk backing down a defender, then suddenly leaning back on one leg, rising up, and releasing the ball with perfect form. It was like poetry in motion, if poetry could make grown men cry and opposing coaches throw their clipboards. But here's the kicker. Dirk wasn't just tall, he was skilled, really skilled. We're talking handle the ball like a guard skilled. Dirk could dribble, pass, and shoot from anywhere on the court. It was like someone had taken the skills of a point guard and stretched them out to 7 feet. Now you might be thinking, sure, but how effective was this really? Well, let me hit you with some cold, hard facts. In 2007, Dirk became the first European player to win the NBA MVP award. He led the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals in 2006, and then again in 2011. And in 2011, he didn't just lead them there, he dragged them kicking and screaming to an NBA championship. Let's talk about that 2011 championship run for a second. It was like watching David take on a whole team of Goliaths. The Mavericks weren't supposed to win. They were facing the Miami Heat's big three of LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh. But Dirk? He just shrugged and went to work. In Game 2 of the Finals, with the Mavs down by 15 in the fourth quarter, Dirk turned into a basketball-playing Terminator. He scored 10 points in the final 2:44, including a left-handed layup to win the game. Left-handed. The guy's a right-hander, but he casually switches hands to win an NBA Finals game. That's the basketball equivalent of writing a novel with your non-dominant hand just for fun. But it wasn't just the flashy moments that made Dirk great. It was his consistency. Year after year, he'd put up 20-plus points and 7-plus rebounds per game. He was like a basketball-playing clock. You could set your watch by his performance. Let's rewind a bit and look at some more specific moments that defined Dirk's career.
Being up 2-0, have the series in our hands. Still to this day, one of the toughest losses in my career.
It's our year. It's our year.
Like Mark Cuban said, we ain't done yet. Let's go. Let's go.
After 5 years of waiting, 5 long years of waiting, the Dallas Mavericks are in the NBA Finals. Of course, sitting on the other side, it could only be this way, the Miami Heat.
We're very confident, regardless of...
Remember the 2006 Western Conference semifinals against the San Antonio Spurs? Game 7, overtime, Mavs down by 3 with 21 seconds left. Dirk drives to the basket, scores, gets fouled, and completes the three-point play. Tie game. Mavs win in overtime. It was a moment that showed Dirk wasn't just a jump shooter. He could put the team on his back when it mattered most. Or how about the 2011 Western Conference Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder? In Game 1, Dirk put on a shooting clinic that would make Stephen Curry blush. He scored 48 points on just 15 shots. 15 shots. That's a level of efficiency that shouldn't be possible. He made all 24 of his free throws, setting an NBA playoff record. It was like watching a video game character with the cheat codes turned on.
Jumper, boy, he'll push out Memo, trying to clear some space. Hanging on a pivot, turns around, jumps it up and in. Hartford trails off. Now Nowitzki jumps it up and over Boozer. Oh boy. Leaves it off to Griffin on the trailer. Back out front. Nowitzki for three. Got it! Driving on the rookie. Good D by Utah. Nowitzki pops out. Three ball. Got it.
Jazz doing a great job of matching up, picking up cutters.
Nowitzki jumps it over the rookie. Comes over for help. Back out to Dirk. AK pops it up and over. AK. And a lot of time left. 5.5 to go. Nowitzki over Boozer. Jumper good. Nowitzki playing with Memo. Jumps it. Good. How about 4 for 4? To Stackhouse. To the corner. Nowitzki. Yes, for 3. Terry around the screen. They'll kick it right back to Dirk. He'll jump it up good. Wow.
Well, he's a player.
34 back-to-back 3 balls to seal the deal.
Jetzt Nowitzki im Low Post gegen Sean Marion. Zählt. Ausgenutzt.
But it wasn't always smooth sailing for Dirk. Early in his career, he faced criticism for being soft, a label often unfairly slapped on European players. In the 2007 playoffs, the top-seeded Mavericks, led by MVP Dirk, were upset by the 8th seed Golden State Warriors. It was a crushing defeat, and many questioned whether Dirk had what it took to lead a team to a championship. Lesser players might have crumbled under that pressure, not Dirk. He used it as fuel, working even harder on his game. He improved his post play, became a better passer, and focused on being a leader both on and off the court.
And Dallas has numbers, and Nowitzki picked up by Kurt Thomas. Nowitzki for 3, good!
Back in the shape, but then to play 18 minutes, he's got to give him some production.
Nowitzki over. Marion is on Nowitzki. A 3 by Dirk. Good! Here comes Nowitzki with 2.5 left in the game. A 3 by Dirk. Good! Ian Van Horn, Armstrong, and Dirk for 3. Good! Dirk Nowitzki is on fire! 3 consecutive threes.
To pick up a foul or let you get to the basket.
Nowitzki, quick shot in the first overtime to send it to second overtime.
See, they're going
Stackhouse trying to free himself from Patterson. Nowitzki. Shot is good. Baseline. Back to Nowitzki. Got a side.
This resilience paid off in the 2011 playoffs. In the first round against Portland, Dirk hit a clutch jumper with 18 seconds left in Game 1 to seal the win. In the Western Conference Finals against OKC, he scored 10 points in the final 5 minutes of Game 4, swinging the series in Dallas's favor. But it was in the finals against Miami where Dirk truly cemented his legacy. In Game 2, playing with a torn tendon in his left middle finger, he led that incredible comeback we mentioned earlier. In Game 4, battling a 101-degree fever, he scored 21 points and hit the go-ahead basket with 14 seconds left. And in the series-clinching Game 6, he scored 21 points, including a clutch three-pointer late in the fourth quarter to put the game out of reach. So, how did he do it? How did this not-so-athletic German guy dominate a league full of high flyers and speed demons? It all comes down to 3 things: skill, smarts, and work ethic. Skill-wise, Dirk was in a league of his own. That jump shot we talked about earlier, he'd practice it for hours, days, weeks, years. He'd shoot until his arms felt like they were going to fall off. Then he'd shoot some more. But it wasn't just mindless repetition. Dirk was always tweaking, always improving. He studied the game like a scientist, breaking down every movement, every angle, to squeeze out every bit of efficiency. Then there's the smarts. Dirk's basketball IQ was off the charts. He could read defenses like a book, always knowing where to be and when. He'd use his size to create mismatches, then exploit them with his skill. Too big for guards, too skilled for big men, Dirk was a walking mismatch. And the work ethic? Legendary. While other players were hitting the clubs, Dirk was hitting the gym. He'd be the first one at practice and the last one to leave. Even in the off-season, when most players were lounging on beaches, Dirk was working with his longtime mentor Holger Geschwindner, fine-tuning his game. Geschwindner, a former German national team captain, played a crucial role in Dirk's development. Their training methods were unorthodox, to say the least. They'd practice shooting while balancing on stability balls. Dirk would dribble tennis balls to improve his hand-eye coordination. He'd practice his jumper while Geschwindner distracted him with math problems. It was like basketball meets Cirque du Soleil meets a calculus class. But here's the thing about Dirk. He didn't just change his own game. He changed the entire NBA. Before Dirk, 7-footers were supposed to stay near the basket, grab rebounds, and maybe hit a hook shot or two. Dirk said, nah to all that. He showed that big men could shoot threes, handle the ball, and be the focal point of an offense. Look around the NBA today. You see guys like Kevin Durant, Kristaps Porzingis, or Nikola Jokic. They're all following the trail Dirk blazed. He opened up a whole new world of possibilities for tall players. Suddenly, being 7 feet tall didn't mean you had to be chained to the paint. You could roam, you could shoot, you could create. And let's not forget the impact he had on international players. Dirk wasn't the first European player in the NBA, but he was the first to truly dominate. He showed that basketball talent doesn't have a nationality. After Dirk, the floodgates opened. Today, the NBA is a global league, with stars from all over the world, and a big part of that is thanks to what Dirk accomplished. But perhaps the most impressive thing about Dirk, his longevity. He played for 21 seasons, all with the same team, the Dallas Mavericks. In a league where players change teams like they change shoes, Dirk's loyalty was something special. He became synonymous with Dallas basketball. When you thought of the Mavericks, you thought of Dirk. This loyalty was tested in 2014 when Dirk became a free agent. He could have chased another championship with a super team. Instead, he took a significant pay cut to stay in Dallas and give the team flexibility to build around him. It was a move that endeared him even more to Mavs fans and basketball purists everywhere. As Dirk's career progressed, he continued to adapt his game. He couldn't rely on athleticism, not that he ever did, so he got craftier. He developed a deadly post-up game, using his height and shooting touch to score over defenders. His pump fake became one of the most effective moves in the league. Defenders would jump out of their shoes trying to block his shot, only to watch Dirk calmly step to the side and drain another jumper. Even in his final seasons, when Father Time was clearly catching up, Dirk found ways to contribute. In his last home game in 2019, at the age of 40, he scored 30 points against the Phoenix Suns. It was a perfect send-off for a player who had given everything to the game. By the time he retired, Dirk had racked up some serious hardware, an MVP award, an NBA championship, 14 All-Star selections, and he finished his career as the 6th highest scorer in NBA history. Not bad for a guy who couldn't out-jump his own shadow. But numbers don't tell the whole story. Dirk's impact went beyond stats. He was a role model, known for his humility and professionalism. He was a leader who elevated his teammates. And he was proof that with enough skill and determination, you could succeed in the NBA without being the biggest, strongest, or fastest. So next time someone tells you that you need to be the fastest or jump the highest to succeed in basketball, just remember Dirk. Remember the 7-foot German guy who looked more like a computer programmer than an NBA superstar. Remember how he took the league by storm, changed the game, and left a legacy that will last for generations. In the end, Dirk Nowitzki's career wasn't just about what he accomplished on the court. It was about redefining what's possible in basketball. It was about proving that with enough skill, smarts, and hard work, you can overcome any physical limitations. And who knows, maybe right now there's another kid out there, not the fastest, not the highest jumper, watching old Dirk highlights and thinking, hey, maybe I could do that too. And that, folks, might just be Dirk's greatest legacy of all. The game of basketball will never be the same, and we have one unathletic German giant to thank for it.